Hi everyone, Sarah, the owner and creator of Multifarious Nature. Thank you for joining me today. If you are a new viewer, please feel free to subscribe below by clicking the subscribe button, and if you click the bell, you'll be notified when I post new videos. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining me again today. I do love that you guys take time to join me, and please give me a thumbs up if you enjoy. That does help me and help me keep creating and help the videos get out there for those who want to learn more about multifarious nature. So do appreciate that when you take the time to do that. So let's do a shop update. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I did a bunch of dyeing yesterday, and one of the things I dyed up a bunch more of because I was playing with color, because I did get more new dye colors. So just doing some experimenting, and I made a bunch more little mystery mini skeins. So if you order a mystery mini skein, these could be what you may end up getting. So I'm just going to give you a couple little preview. I have a couple skeins up here. So this is one of them. The mystery mini skein does vary. You'll either get a 10-gram mini or a 20-gram mini. It's a mystery. And then I've got this other little one here. Has some speckling and teal in there. It's blue and green. This one's fun. Lots of fun speckles and color in that one. And I've got this one. More of like a hot cocoa, kind of a brown color. And this one. See, I was playing with color. This looks more coral in this video, but it is well, it's like a corally pink color. It's nice and vibrant. And here's some more. This is going to be a big preview because it's all jumbled together, but a bunch of different colors and some neutrals. And so those are a bunch of mystery mini skeins. So if you order one, you'll get one and you don't know what you're going to get. I'm just going to reach in and grab one. So that's if you order a mystery mini skein. You could get one of those. Exciting times. All right, and then I did make some full-size skeins. Just a couple of each. I dye up in very small batches, each of my colorways. So I don't have a bunch that usually get listed at once. I am the only one dyeing, and I just do it for fun part-time at the moment. So if there's a color that you really like and a base that you really like, please let me know and I will try to create that for you. So the first one that I created yesterday was the Electric Blue Raspberry. That's this one. So you can see this gorgeous like teal blue. I look at that as like a blue raspberry color. And white, and it's definitely a variegated yarn. It's like throughout there's just patches of that like raspberry blue color, blue raspberry color, and then patches of the white, like almost that raw undyed color throughout. I love this color. It's so beautiful. And just have a couple in the shop at the moment. And I have it on my 50-50 base. So it's 50% superwash merino and 50% silk. So it's very soft. And you can also see that beautiful sheen from the silk in there. So that's Electric Blue Raspberry. The other one is Purple Iris. This is again variegated, so you have the purple throughout patches, like the darker, like almost a royal purple, some lighter violet in there, speckling of almost like this navy coloring in here throughout, so I did do some speckling on this. Another absolutely gorgeous color. I love this color. I'm having a lot of fun doing this technique of variegation where you get just little hints, little patches of the natural undyed yarn and then color throughout. So it's really interesting. And now that I've had a chance to kind of knit up some like this, it just is really cool looking. And I love the fabric it creates, the coloration and everything. So the variety is beautiful. So that is, again, Purple Iris. So those will be in the shop soon. I don't currently have them in the shop, but hopefully by the time the video goes live, they're in the shop. It takes some time to do that, so I just have to get it done. Oh, and I didn't tell you what the base was. So this is the alpaca 20-60-20. So it's 20% superfine alpaca, 60% superwash merino, and 20% nylon. So it's a nice durable blend, very soft, drapey, super cozy. And alpaca is definitely known to be a nice and warm wool. So if you made a sweater out of this, or a shawl, scarf, hat, this would just be so toasty. And I guess you can even make socks out of this, you know. The possibilities are endless, and these are all fingering weight. I mainly dye up fingering weight at the moment. I haven't branched out to any other ones just because I so love fingering weight yarn. You can do so much with it. It's very flexible. So I guess we should get into projects. So that was the shop update. And we'll get into the works in progress. I don't have any finished objects today, but I do have works in progress, and I did get a bunch of work done on quite a few of these. So let's go on to the Leander shawl first. I did not get as much done on that one. I mainly focused on my Advent shawl because I'm trying super hard to knit up each colorway each day for my Advent shawl. So it takes quite a bit of time and focus to do that. So I haven't really worked too much on this one, but I did do a little bit. So this is, again, the Leander shawl by Jane Vanslos. And I did just a bit more. So you can see I had that area where I was doing the two colors, and I now have gotten into just the gray, and I'm doing some lace work. And you kind of can't really see the lace work very well. And I totally screwed up the lace work, guys, because I didn't count my stitches. I know better. Like when you're doing lace work, I highly recommend always counting your stitches. I'm sure not the first person to ever say that in the world, but you need to count your stitches because lace patterns are designed that when you go across one way and then you rotate and you go back the other direction, they line up in a certain way so they'll create a pattern. It makes sense, you know, it's very logical. However, I didn't count my stitches. I just assumed, oh, I don't care if the shawl ends up really big, it'll just be big and I will love that anyway. Which, yes, that's true, I will love it anyway. However, the lace work is supposed to make almost this floral pattern, which you can see down here where my stitch number was correct. And actually, you probably won't be able to see it very well because it's not blocked. But there is a floral pattern that the lace creates, and it was supposed to do that up here, I'm pretty sure. And now it's kind of like this random lace part. Do I want to rip back? Not particularly. So I'm gonna leave this the way it is, and it's gonna be quirky. It's not really that far back. I could easily rip back that, and it would not be the end of the world, but I don't know. I just don't want to. Do you ever feel that way when you're working on a project? You totally know you screwed up, and you're like, you know what, this project, I just don't want to. So it's gonna be quirky. This row of lace work is not gonna look like it's supposed to. But here's the thing, guys. I know that. You know that because I told you. But anyone else who sees the shawl won't know. So I don't think it really matters. If you're okay with it, that's all that matters. It's your project, right? So I'm being lazy with this one. I'm just gonna keep on working on it and not rip back. I've ripped back on plenty of other projects, and that one, I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like going back on it. So it is what it is. The next project I have ripped back because I had screwed up at one point, so I did rip back a couple rows. But it's worth it because it's very obvious if I screw this up. So I'm still much further than where I ripped back. But this is the Brick Sweater by Claire Lee. You can find this on Ravelry. I believe it is still a free pattern. It was when I bought it, or bought it when I picked it out. It was a free pattern. I am a lot further. So I think where we left off last time was where that progress keeper is. So I was very near. I was like 4 or 5 rows from the end of the sweater before doing the ribbing section, which is that kind of cinches it in a little bit. And yes, it is a different color because, like I said, I did not have a lot of this. I found it on eBay and I'm just using, you know, whatever I had. So after kind of mentally just estimating my yardage and everything, I don't think I have enough to do the entire sweater in just that color. And I was definitely gonna do this color because I did it in the, oh dear, did this in the color work section here in the middle. And if you noticed, there is a pattern flaw, but it's consistent. So there's, for some reason when I did the stitch count, I don't know, but there's 2 rows of stitches here where otherwise there's 1 row of stitches that are brown between that gray color. So there's like a solid row right in the middle because that's right where my middle of my row is and stitch marker. So like in hindsight, I probably would have put my beginning of my row like under my arm or something versus right here, because that flaw is kind of pretty obvious. I mean, I think it'll be fine. I don't think that's gonna be a big deal. It doesn't bother me enough at the moment, and I don't think it's gonna bother me that much later. It's just a fun little sweater that I can just wear whenever. So, I don't know. But this is Lopi yarn, so this is very rustic and toasty, and it's like, I think they consider this a worsted weight, but it's super rustic. You can see that nice fluffiness. So what happens is once you wash this, it'll bloom and open up, and then it closes up any of the little like holes that you got going on, which there's not really any holes, but here you can see in the raglan, there's like the slight gapping, and it'll fill that all in, so then the air doesn't flow through, and it's gonna be super warm. So I'm looking forward to that. But I finished the bottom, so I have cast off, or bound off, the edge. I think it's called Jenny's Surprisingly Stretchy Bind Off. So it gives you that amazing stretch. Check that out, guys. Isn't that nice? So this is not by any means a sweater that's going to be super form-fitting. It's definitely a more comfy sweater. But you can see that it's going to cinch in, and lengthwise this is going to be so nice because I don't like super cropped sweaters, and some of the other ones I've made were a little bit shorter than my taste, so I would like to wear them over like dresses and things of that nature. But this one I think is going to be better when it comes to length, because this edging here right before this ribbing hits like, I think at like my hip, so it's going to be a nice length and super warm, because when you're like cropped shirts right up, it gets cold, and I live in Michigan and it gets really cold here in the winter sometimes. So I want a sweater that's gonna be toasty, so that's what I'm aiming for with this. So now that I bound that off, I am working on the sleeves. So I just started working on this one. Still have this one over here on the yarn that's holding the stitches. So I'm going to my goal, I'm pretty positive I have enough yarn to do it, is to do all of the ribbing. So the ribbing down here, the ribbing that'll be on the cuff area. So there'll be, I'm pretty sure it's the same amount of rows of ribbing, but it's gonna be on the cuff. So like from your wrist to about here, will be green as well. And then it's a nice, like, I don't know if I call that like a forest green. So pretty. I love this color. And this is nice with this kind of rustic, I don't know. I like the color combination. And I'm gonna do that on the sleeves, and then I'm probably gonna take, in the next couple rows here, because it'll kind of match up, and I'm getting there, where it'll match up with this, and I'm gonna do that color work in the sleeve as well. I'm just gonna do like a portion of it. I definitely should have enough yarn to do that. And then I'll do the rest with the brown, and I should have plenty of yarn to do that. And then, oh, there's some ribbing around the collar, and so I'm gonna do that in the green as well. So there'll be green at the top collar, there'll be green at the bottom, and green on the wrists. And it's gonna be kind of fun and funky, but this is a handmade garment, so it should be unique. It should be something different than you just buy at the store. And some people might not like that, the fact that it's not all one color, but come on, guys. You're supposed to be getting creative. You're doing this by hand, right? You don't want it to look like something you could buy from the store, because you put a lot of love and time into these things, so it should look unique and unique to you. So that is my brick sweater by Claire Lee. I am loving this sweater. It is so much fun to knit, and I got a bunch done on it. I mean, that ribbing, oh, knit one, purl one is what that ribbing is, and oy. And I went down a needle size, and I did follow the pattern, because the pattern called for a size 9 knitting needle for the main sweater, and then a size 7 for any of the ribbing. And so I did do that. I'm using 2 different gauges of yarn, or weights of, not gauge, weight of yarn. So this is like worsted slash Aran, maybe. It's not really bulky, but it's definitely a heavier weight yarn, so it's thicker. And then this, I'd say, is like a fluffy fingering. This is like a fingering weight, or a fine worsted. I don't know. It's not, so if you look at that, you can see my hand through there, right? It's kind of airy, which is fine anyway. That doesn't bother me. And again, this has a wool mix in as well. Either a wool blend or all wool. I don't know. I got it from a thrift store, so I'm not even sure what it is, but it feels like wool. And that will then also bloom. So it may either fill in all those holes, but it's past my hip anyway, so I don't really care if it is slightly holey-ish or lighter, more transparent. I don't know. So that is that brick sweater. So a bunch done on that. The one I've had the most progress on, guys, of course, but close to the brick sweater, because I've spent a lot of time on both, is my Shake It Up Shawl by Anna Joanna. And I did purchase this shawl. I love her name, Anna Joanna. So much fun to say. I did purchase this pattern. And this is using my Advent. So I got an Advent calendar for Christmas from my husband. I was so excited because I wanted one so badly, and he picked which one. I gave him some ideas, and he picked which one. So I didn't know, and I don't know what each day brings, except it's going to be yarn. So there's 24 days of mini skeins, and then there's a full-size skein for the 25th, and then a extra full-size skein as a fun gift in there. So I'm super excited about what that's all going to look like. So each day, every morning, I open a skein, and then I add that to my shawl through the day. So I try to knit that section each day. Each day is going to get harder because the sections are going to get wider and bigger. So at the moment, I am on section 8. I'm using multiple colors per section because there's only 13 sections, and I have 25 colors. Well, technically 26 if I include my gift skein, but I'm probably not going to put my gift skein in there because that's an extra, fun extra. So I do it in the order that I receive them. So each day I open one, I use that color in it, as I stated in a previous video, and I'm sticking to it. Whether or not that's the order I would put them in, I am doing it. So it's a chick that knits Advent. I don't know if I mentioned that, but she's the one who created it, and this is her first year doing that, I'm pretty sure. So super excited. So here it is, guys. This is the Shake It Up shawl. I have to be careful because I'm getting closer to the edge of my needles now because it's getting so wide. Look how long it is. It's huge. So this is where I left you guys last. It was the bottom of the brioche. It was down there where I just had actually like, I think 2 rows of brioche, and then I went nuts. I love brioche. If you haven't tried brioche, please try it. Do it for me. But do it for yourself. It's so much fun. Okay, if you've never done brioche, this is what it looks like. It's this like stretchy looking area. And there's a lot of times hats will have brioche. You can find shawls with brioche. You can find probably socks with brioche, sweaters with brioche. And once you do it, you'll understand why it's amazing. So for one, it's gorgeous. You use 2 colors for brioche at least. So there's always 2. You have one that's forward facing and one that falls into the back or seats into the back. And that's the way most patterns are. There are multicolored brioche, and this would be like considered multicolored. So this area right here, so the blue and dark green, and then this multicolored, and this like almost color's called antique, this like mauve, like a dark mauve color. Those 2 areas are one section. This one section, and I basically divided it up. I did a little bit more in the light blue, but then I did that section because again, I didn't know what these colors were. And then I did this entire section because normally I actually split up the sections, but I did, I'm pretty sure, I'm actually looking at this to verify. Yeah, I did this entire section here with one combination. So that's why that's a larger section. And I totally screwed up, guys. Do you see it? Do you see the mistake? If you don't, I'm not showing you. It's there. So they all meet up basically. And here I screwed up. It's supposed to be like up here and they don't meet. So it's a very minor screw up. I realized it when I was like up here, and brioche takes like 4 rows to get like 1 row. It's not exactly correct, but you get the picture. So I just didn't want to go back. I really enjoy brioche, but as you can see, I'm getting a lot further. So that's a lot of brioche, and I wanted to get to the next color. So there's this beautiful green, blue, and then this is the peaches and cream colorway up here. And now I'm just starting with Monet, which is, oh my gosh, this is my favorite color so far, guys. It looks like a Monet painting. Love it. So pretty. So that's what I'm starting with now. That's going to be after the peaches and cream. So I'm going to do part of this lacework now that I'm going to be working on. And that's what it looks like so far. So it's going to be super vibrant and fun and quite unique from a lot of the knitting that I normally do. So I'm excited about that. I'm branching out, and it was a fun, and each day I get a new color and I have no idea. It's just super fun. And then on Christmas, I get a full-size skein. So I'm really excited about that. So that is all my works in progress. Again, like I said, no finished objects this week. And probably won't finish any by next week either. Maybe this, no, not the sweater. Like maybe I'll finish it, but no, I know I won't. The sleeves take a little bit of time. I don't know. If I go absolutely nuts and somehow manage to finish that, that would be amazing and crazy. But I need to go to the food store. Need to get some shopping in. Usually do that on Sundays. And want to make some lentil soup. I don't know what you guys like for like this time of year, like your cozy winter meals. Like, what are some of your favorites? Let me know. I'd love to hear. And if you have a recipe that you love for this time of year, please send it my way. I'm always looking for good recipes for us to try. And but I want to make a good cozy lentil soup. Oh, so good. Just warm and cozy. And it was snowing today, guys. It snowed just a little bit. Just these big snowflakes, you know, like in a snow globe snowflakes. Those are my favorite. So it just came down a little bit. Nothing stuck, but so pretty. That's my favorite. So probably gonna do that. Go shopping for food, and then take the dogs on a hike. And my aim is to try to get all of these new items that were dyed up in the shop today. That may or may not happen. I'm gonna try really hard to do that though. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Hope you guys are staying happy, healthy, and I hope you're creating and doing something you enjoy. And I will see you in the near future. Have a great rest of your week, guys. Take care. Bye.